So it's a pleasure to speak to you today. I am Senior Sales Director Anna Vazquez with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I have been building my business for 13 years. I remember on November 17th, 2006, when I was invited for a girls' night out. And I simply went with this lady who knocked on my door and had a Mary Kay car in her driveway. And I thought that was so exciting. I thought that was so neat. I didn't know Mary Kay gave away cars to their consultants. And I remember her picking me up at 6 o'clock in her Mary Kay car. And she simply said, I just want you to come and have a good time. And I did. When we arrived there, I remember nobody touched me. But I felt this warm, icy hot hand on my back that kept saying, everything is gonna be okay. You see, I was employed by the United States Postal Service, and I had reached the level of postmaster. And that's the job that I wanted for the last 20 years before that promotion, only to discover how lonely it was there. And I was turning into somebody that I was not. And so I love my employees, but I really didn't care about the way leadership treated the people. And so I was praying and asking God, Lord, could you show me something? All I want to say is that night, I was invited to a complimentary skincare and cosmetics, and I was just at the facial, and I fell in love. I was like, what is this? What is this on my face? And I remember, no one was ever pushy. They simply said, Anna, what did you fall in love with? And I said, all of it. I love all of this stuff. It's amazing. And so she said, great. Out of everything you tried, what would you like to take home? And that was it. I remember being escorted to another room because we were going to have a raffle of certain Mary Kay products that they were going to give away that night. And she explained the 3 ways that Mary Kay consultants make their money. And my eyebrows went all the way to heaven. I said, what? Are you kidding me? And so she said that the first way is that consultants make 50% on everything they sell. And I was like, oh, that's impressive. I just fell in love with $200 worth of products. That means she was going to pocket $100. And then they said, with the other $100, she invested into having products on hand so that she can service her customers. And I thought, that's brilliant. How professional. The second way she said they make their money is by team building. You simply share the product and then you share the opportunity into helping women discover their greatness, because there's potential in every woman. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And that Mary Kay, the corporation, the actual company, would pay the commission check to the consultant who built her team. And I was like, that is so awesome. So that was a double check. I was getting excited. The last thing she said was the way consultants make their money is in their cars. And I said, cars? I just rode in a Mary Kay car all the way to this meeting. I need to hear this. And when I paid attention, I just want you to know that she talked about how you can build your team, and if you just follow the guidelines of the contest, Mary Kay allows you to drive a free car. And then every 2 years, you get to trade that car in for another one. I was so excited. What I remember the most about that night is that she said, I have one more thing to share. The mailman just delivered my check for last month's work, and I brought it to share it with you ladies. And she opened up the check, and I'll bet you can't even imagine what that check said. She started passing it around the room. Women were gasping. They were like hyperventilating. They were rubbing the check on their chest. They were taking pictures with this check. And I was like, what's the big deal about this check? And when it got to my little hands, I read it, ladies, and it said $10,240. And I was like, oh, no way. No way. You see, I was looking for a way to circumvent the $70,000 salary that I was receiving in 1 year for the Postal Service. But for that amount of money, I was sacrificing a lot. And I watched these women, how happy they were. And I'm thinking, wow, what a support system. How these women are empowering one another. and I simply asked 2 questions. Number one, did you really make $10,240 in 1 month? And she said, yes, I did. And I said, number two, would you show me how? And she said, absolutely. Do you have 15 minutes? And that's how my Mary Kay journey began on November 17th of 2006. So if I were to give you some tips on how to get started, so it's a $100 decision. And once you say yes and you open up your starter kit, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So I would recommend that everyone start with their friends and their family. Their friends and their family. And what I discovered when I did it that way is that everyone knows a friend that knows a friend that knows a friend. And so that is how I began my journey, because some of us are extroverts and we'll talk to everyone. Like, I have no problem talking to the cashier at Publix. I will talk to a complete stranger on the street. But then there are women that are shy, and I totally understand. But sister, let me just say that if you're shy as an adult, we need to overcome that and help you tell your story. Because shy is cute when we're babies, but when you have a story to tell, you need to tell it. So I would recommend that everyone start with their friends and their family, because each person will help you get to someone else. So it means the world to me to be involved with my community. Through my Mary Kay business, I have been able to donate to domestic violence shelters. Now you see, that right there is something that is so near and dear to my heart. And I love giving back because you just don't know women's journeys. You don't know if you've been a victim. You don't know if there's someone else, a sister, mother, daughter, niece. Women go through so much. And it is my heart's desire to give back to my community. That's one way. I love first responders. I love to bless nurses, doctors, anyone in our community that serves others is my way of giving back. And I believe that when you give back to your community, you're growing one another. And that's how you do life with the people that you love and that God has surrounded you with. And that's another way to grow in the place that you've been planted.